whole lot. So I think we're ready to start. Are you guys ready? Okay, Turtle, are you ready? Okay, so ready, guys? A long, long time ago, there lived a little turtle, and she had the best pond in the whole world. She swam around in that pond. It was the best. No. Hey, she loved her pond, trust me, she really did. And she had big rocks in it, and she could swim around. She could swim around? Okay, so she was she just kind of was one of those turtles that didn't move around a lot. You know, turtles are kind of slow. So that's what she did in her pond. Well, one day, she noticed that it was getting really, really, really cold out. And she said, she knew it was getting cold, but Bird just wasn't coming to her. So she swam to the bottom of the pond. And she curled up in a little ball, because that's what turtles do when it gets cold. She swam to the bottom and went in a little ball at the bottom. Well, okay, so she sat on the edge. Okay, but while she was really sleeping during the winter, a beaver came along and he saw this pond and he thought that was the most magnificent pond he'd ever seen. And he said, it's a great pond. And then he said, so he had a great idea. Yeah, so he started to work with all his logs and he was going to build a great dam. And the whole time he was building that dam, the turtle was asleep. She was sleeping at the bottom of the lake. She really was. And after he built his dam, he built a great lodge that he too climbed in and went to sleep. Well, after a few very cold winter months, spring arrived, and the turtle woke up. Turtle, did you wake up? Are you awake? She's awake now. And she swam to the very top of the pond. And as she was swimming to the top, she kept thinking, wow, this water's deeper than it usually is. So finally she came to the top and she turned around and she noticed something was different. And she saw another animal in her pond. And she said to the animal, what are you doing here? And the beaver said back to her, oh, this is my pond. And she said to him, this is my pond. And the beaver said back to her, this is my pond. And she said back to him, this is my pond. So really and truly they were arguing over whose pond it was going to be. But Beaver had a great idea. I have a good idea. What was your idea, Beaver? Perfect. So Beaver had a great idea. He was so excited that he went and told the mice that lived in the forest.
I know.
We're gonna have a race tomorrow morning.
I hope you guys can read lips.
We're gonna have a race tomorrow morning. What's Ellen?
Okay, so all the animals in the forest were so excited, and the next morning, the little animals decided. The little animals decided that they were going to get on one side of the pond so that they could cheer for Turtle and Beaver. So it got to be almost time for the race. Turtle didn't know how she was going to win. She was very confused, which is why she was very quiet. But while she was so quiet, she was thinking, how am I ever going to win this race? And while she was thinking, the crowd was cheering for her.
Turtle Beaver! Turtle Beaver! Turtle Beaver!
So, the turtle had a great idea. She thought she would latch on to Beaver's tail before the race started, and she would go across the pond on his tail. So, before they could start the race, they had appointed the bear to be the guy to start the race. So the bear was ready. Okay, go, Beaver. And as they get a little further across, the turtle moved a little bit further. And as they got all the way to the end, the turtle took one big bite and ran! And then Turtle won the race. So the turtle won. But hey, we're not there yet. So Beaver was so embarrassed and so sad. And Turtle told him he could live in her pond, but he said, yeah. So he went walking around until he found another pond that had another turtle. And he asked that turtle. And the turtle said, sure. So they lived happily ever after. And Turtle had such a happy life in her pond all by herself. Didn't you, Turtle? So, the end. Thank you guys so much for coming. If you have a chance, look around the room. We have a lot of our artwork that is displayed that we've been working on.